thanks for joining me. I'm so excited that you're with me today. I'm going to be comparing my Schpirrer Farben and my Nyoni color pencils today, and I hope that you will enjoy spending time finding out a little bit more about both of these types of pencils. So I've made myself a comparison chart to have a look at them. I made this chart, and I've written where I bought them from, where I got them, what the price is, what the container is like, is there open stock, things like that. So I'm going to write those down as we do that, and I'm going to give a tick and see which one gets the most ticks and which one is the winner. I've also done a color chart, a swatch chart for both of them. I've made two different styles of swatch chart for myself. So that's this one. This is 96 colors of the Schpirrer Farben. And then for the Nyoni pencils, I have made this swatch chart. It's a remarkably difficult thing to say, swatch chart. But if any of you are interested in wanting a swatch chart or anything like that, please let me know and I'll happily send you a PDF file. I have the two different styles that I've been kind of working on. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the Nyoni, and I'm going to read my list here to see how everything does. So to start with, I bought these here in South Africa. So for me, they're quite easily available. I bought them in South Africa at Take-A-Lot, if any South Africans are watching. And at Take-A-Lot, they cost 895 Rand for the 120 set, which is pretty amazing. They are much more expensive in the United States. Interestingly enough, they're available on Amazon, but they are $69.99 for the $120, $69.99 for the 120 set, and $44.99 for the 72 set. So that, as a comparison to the Schpirrer Farben for people in the United States, makes a difference. The Schpirrer Farben, there are all the goodness of colors, are available. The largest set is 96, which is the set that I have, and that is $42.97. And there's a 72 set for $37.90. So there are both the Nyoni and the Schpirrer Farben. You can get a 72 set. So the Schpirrer Farben is $37.90, the Nyoni $44.99. So that's more expensive. In South Africa, they're cheaper. So that I find interesting, and I'm not going to really compare on price, because being South African, I think the majority of you watching live either in the UK or the United States. So I think the fact that the price differences for South Africans doesn't really affect any of you. As far as the container is concerned, they're both very nice containers. The Schpirrer Farben here has a smaller container. You can see it next to the Nyoni, but there's about 20 fewer pencils. It's in these trays, which are not bad. They are a little bit floppy, but I'm keeping mine in here. I'm going to just move the Nyoni set out of the way. So that it's easier to talk about here. There's no open stock available at all. The pencils on the Schpirrer Farben are beautiful. They are dipped, quite a long dip, and this lovely gold. It has quite a nice big core, and it has a name, point shoe. I like this pink point shoe, ballet point shoe, and a number 143. The largest set that's available of this is 96. The pencil appearance is really beautiful. I think they are such beautiful pencils. Just lovely. If I look at the two colors against each other, this is the Schpirrer Farben. I've asked a question of which colors I prefer, and this is the Nyoni. To me, the colors look quite similar. The yellows are bright. There are more pale beiges and pale yellows, creams in the Nyoni. The Schpirrer Farben has a lot of blues, more blues, I think, than, very many more blues than the Nyoni. But the Nyoni has more of the purple lilacs. They both have a similar number of pinks. The Nyoni has a nice large number of flesh colors. The greens are quite comparable, and the earth colors, there are a lot of earth colors and sort of pastely grays in the Nyoni, not as many in the Schpirrer Farben. I find it very hard to say which I prefer. It's a very personal choice. But I think, for me, the color choice, I think the Nyoni has a better color choice. The pencil appearance, so, just a minute, I'm going to take some pencils out of pencil appearance of both. Again, it's a personal choice. The Nyoni, and let me use an orange of both. The Nyoni pencil is a little bit like a Faber-Castell Polychromos looking. The whole pencil is dipped. It has a little gold line. It has a number, but no name. So I'll give that a half. The pencil appearance, I think they're both beautiful. They're both very attractive pencils. The Nyoni has the biggest size available. So now I want to see which of the two pencils has the most opaque black. So we're going to do a little bit of coloring here. And just, that's one layer, 2 layers, 3 layers, 4 layers, and let me try going the other way around over it. This is the Schpirrer Farben that I'm busy doing now, and back again this way. Okay, now the Nyoni. Is picking up the grain of the wood underneath. It's interesting that the Schpirrer Farben didn't actually pick up the grain of the wood. The Nyoni pencil is crumbling more than the Schpirrer Farben. Getting quite a lot of dust there. I didn't get any with the Schpirrer Farben. I just go over that so that it doesn't have the grain of wood. They're both quite opaque. I think they both get a tick. I want to see what the white looks like when I use the white on top of some black. So here's the Nyoni, and it stands out fairly well on top of some black. And here's the Schpirrer Farben. I think the Nyoni is more opaque on black. Another layer, and another layer here. Doesn't want to take any more, so the Nyoni wins there. I don't know if I even put this down. I think I'm leaving my list. Because I don't think I'm very good at following lists. Then I wanted to see how the pencils blend. So let me make sure I'm in screen. And I've got similar colors for each. I've got an orange, yellow, and to yellow. I'm going to start with the Nyoni. And then going over that, and then to a lighter yellow, and going over the whole lot with the lighter yellow. I think it blends quite well, and as I said before, it is quite crumbly, which is not great. This is not the best paper. I'm using it, some leftover cardstock that my husband found when he was clearing out drawers. Now the Schpirrer Farben, similar colors. I like that these don't crumble so much. They don't like this paper very much. It's quite smooth paper. They're blending very nicely. All right, so that's interesting. Looking at it like this, the Nyoni has blended better than the Schpirrer Farben. I'm now going to use a blending pencil. Just want to make sure it's clean. And I'm going to blend the Nyoni one together with the blending pencil. Not really making any difference. And now the Schpirrer Farben. It's also not really making any difference. I think it's probably this paper. Then I wanted to see how well they cope with sharpening. I've sharpened all of these, not all of these pencils, but both brands, and both have given me some trouble. So I want to see how well they hold the sharpened point. And I think I mentioned that neither is available in open stock. Oopsie. So now I'm going to colour with the Schpirrer Farben. I'm just going to colour an area about this big with a heavy pressure and going around and around. And it is making a lot of crumbs now. The point is not bad after I've used it for a while. And let's see how it does on black. I wouldn't bother to colour with it on black. And now with the Nyoni, same sort of an area. Much more crumbs. If crumbs is something that bothers you, then the Nyonis are not for you. I would say both points land up looking fairly similar. And let's try the Nyoni on the black. Very much like the Schpirrer Farben. So the sharpening is much the same as far as breaking. And then the feeling for me, which pencil do I prefer? And I can't really answer that. To me, they feel very similar. The size of the barrel is the same. When I colour on this paper, I prefer the Nyoni. I'm going to try a different paper here that has a bit more texture. It's a bit of a dirty piece. This is the Nyoni, which feels good on there. But here the Schpirrer Farben feels great. So I think the Nyoni is kind of okay on both types of paper. The Schpirrer Farben likes a little bit of texture to the paper. And so we come to the end of our comparison of these two lovely sets of pencils. And as far as I'm concerned, I find them equal. There's some pluses on the one side and some negatives on the other, but they kind of balance themselves out. And my recommendation, if you're feeling like treating yourself to a new set of pencils and one of these appeals to you, is that if you live in the United States, I would probably buy the Schpirrer Farben because of the cost. If you live in South Africa, I would definitely go to the Nyoni. I think of the two, the Nyoni is slightly better than the other, but they are so close. And they're both really lovely sets of medium-priced pencils. I really hope that you've enjoyed this little comparison. And I'd like to ask you once again to please click that little thumbs up if you don't mind, and if you haven't subscribed already, to think about subscribing and hitting the bell notification. Thanks once again for watching, and have a wonderful and colourful week. Bye bye now.